Let's kick off the things with a warm welcome to our first speaker, Miguel De Bruycker, Managing Director General of the CCB. Miguel.
Good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Honestly, it's an honor, and I will keep it quite short, and I will immediately share a few slides just to set the scene. And I have a few statements. The first statement I have for you today is whatever you do should have an impact. I think that is quite an important statement in the sense that, and let me try to put this a little bit away. Okay, here we go. If you look at an attack, there are 6 different elements that we have to look at. And if you do something, if we talk about, and on political level, very often we talk about capacity building, information sharing, resilience building, etc., awareness. And very often we don't go back to the essence. To what extent does that have an impact on one of these 6 elements? And if you look at the threat actor and the intentions, that is not really the business of our Center for Cybersecurity, but we have to admit, we have to talk about cyber diplomacy, we have to talk about prosecution of those actors. If we don't go and try to get to those actors, because they are not all from far, far away. Sometimes they're in our own countries. Then, well, it's like we can continue to do the work, and it will be a never-ending story. We have to look at the infrastructure. Do we have an impact, and can we have an impact on the infrastructure? For instance, our Belgian anti-phishing shield, where we collect bad domains from the population. We receive 25,000 emails per day from the population, and we share those malicious domains with the internet service providers, making that we have a sort of DNS rerouting on national level. So we warn people, we warn the population for that. You have to dare to filter out malicious infrastructure. If you look at the next element, it's about the conduction of a malicious attack. We have to be able to detect that. Very often I have the impression that we are blind on what is happening. So why not look at NetFlow data, try to analyze it, try to identify those attacks. Exploiting a vulnerability. We are scanning Belgium every week for vulnerable systems. We are identifying the owners of those systems, and we are warning them. We call that spear warning. And finally, of course, you have the target. We have to make them aware. So we have awareness campaigns explaining to people the basics. It is not possible to make people aware of everything, but it is one of the elements that can make us more safe on the internet. My second point, and I only have 3 short points, is, well, cybersecurity governance is all about having authority over your mission. And that's why, for instance, while we are developing a new cybersecurity strategy for Belgium, we have split it up in 4 parts. We are developing a strategy for cybersecurity. We are developing a strategy for law enforcement, one for cyber defense, and one for cyber diplomacy. And that is very important to make a clear distinction between those overlapping domains. But when you try to define them separately, at least you have the possibility to identify those overlaps and to find solutions how to collaborate and how to solve those overlaps together. But you have an authority for each domain. And in Belgium, that was in the past sometimes a little bit an issue. What is defense doing? What is law enforcement doing? Aren't we all doing the same? Well, now it's more clear, and we collaborate on the overlaps. Finally, look at cybersecurity as a simple routine. And that's why, for instance, we have developed the Cyber Fundamentals framework. For our NIS2, we have one common layer with a lot of very interesting tools that allow us to implement from the basics cybersecurity in those entities, those important and essential entities, but it's open to all companies. And we hope that by summer this year, this Cyber Fundamentals framework will be recognized as an EU norm and an EU standard. And I think that's also the way to go. Build simple frameworks that allow people and simple tools. We have a very simple risk assessment tool that sets you to the right level of cyber fundamentals. You have self-assessment tools. allowing enterprises to start from the basics, implementing cybersecurity in, let's say, an easy and in a stepped way. So I invite you all to go to cyfun.eu for more information on that. And this ends my very short introduction. Thank you all very much for your attention. Thank you.
Okay, well, that was to the point, as we say. Thank you very much for your contribution as usual, and let's hope that we still can have a lot of QCTRs together. Thank you, Miguel. Talk to you later.